Hello, Kimmy Walker here, and welcome to the Early Accountability Podcast live, right? We have not been live. I don't even know. So we're just going to dive in because this is going to be really good. I think this is a great story to capture at this time of the year as we are looking at giving and just planning for the new year and things that we can invest in and things that we can help with making people grow. Today we are here with Carl Gray the third. Who is a business solution architect, an entrepreneur, and the founder of Raising Founders. So first off, Carl, thank you for being here. Welcome.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me. I love talking.
Okay, so you're not really unfamiliar to the show or the certain capacities, but I want you to explain and go into depth and basically tell what Raising Founders is, tell what your business is, and then we're going to get kind of into the backdrop of what led you here.
So Raising Founders we call ourselves the AAU of entrepreneurship because with the rigor and skill set that we try to use to teach young people entrepreneurship and business. So it basically started a few years ago, when I was doing a cybersecurity camp. I was teaching cybersecurity and entrepreneurship. It's called a cyber business camp. Great idea that I had. But I kind of transitioned out of cybersecurity, and but when we were doing our final presentation, it was amazing. The young people got there and they were doing their presentations, and I kind of saw I had something when the judges that were there, who were business people, educated, all of that, were DMing me. Number one, asking if the businesses were real and could they invest in them. Also saying, how could we get these for our students? Ended up putting this in Prince George's County Public Schools, and even one of our actual winner that year, Caitlin Marks, she actually ended up writing a business plan for one of the judges. So it was one of those. Yeah. So that's kind of how it got started. It's something that I kind of wish I had when I was growing up.
Okay. Well, so talk to us about where you from? What was your life like growing up? Were you exposed to entrepreneurship when you were young?
Funny story, right? So I grew up in Landover, Maryland, born in DC Northwest. When my dad got locked up, my mom moved us out to Maryland, and that's kind of where I first learned like responsibility or like kind of accountability. And we'll probably get to that later. But as I jumped in, growing up, it wasn't the best of neighborhoods. They call it the zoo, Kentland. So I've seen a lot of stuff growing up. But one thing that helped me was that my past was my godmother. She kind of put me in different places, and so, during the years that I was a member of that ministry, she helped me a lot, right? She helped me a whole lot in growing and seeing, she took me to business conferences. She got my first computer. I was the youngest man, and I was the youngest boy in so many rooms with people that was, very much, a lot older to me. Some of the big names in the late 90s, early 2000s in business marketing and digital marketing, she had me in their rooms. If I saw the name and names, you're like, oh, really? Yeah. So, I've seen a lot, through her. And so I was exposed to entrepreneurship early. And then me even doing it, I was one of those kids who broke rules a little bit, a lot. Yes. But, my backpack would be full of, what's those things called? I had oatmeal cream pies and Winter Fresh, and I would sell them. Only to be able to buy more and eat them, right? It was really just feed my own habit, right?
He was pushing.
Yeah, right. I didn't know rule number one. I didn't know don't get high on supply. But but yeah, so I was sitting there, but even before that, my boy Justin, he was an artist, right? He could draw. Okay. And I like to, I guess I was the business side. So I said, look, here's what we're going to do. You draw these things. This was back when McDonald's used to have the Batman cups. And he drew like this joint of the penguin. I said, you draw it. And I was in my mother's office and I made copies of it. And we would sell the copies. You see what I'm saying? Like we split the revenue and go to the gas station and get Laffy Taffies. So it was always, hey, what offer can I make to be able to pay for the thing that I want? That's kind of how it started with that.
So it started off early.
Very early. Very, very, very early. And I was like 19 years old when that was happening.
Oh, are you serious? Okay, so you was hustling real early on.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay,
Yeah.
so when did you branch into entrepreneurship yourself as an adult?
Um, I think my first foray. So I always wanted to do it. It was always
Oh,
inside, right? But I went to school for political science. I wanted to be a political strategist. But I think the first like foray into it was with my boy Yancey Merchant.
mhm.
He had a company called New Face Entertainment. We was in college, we used to throw parties, right? And so it was kind of like jumping in that, helping to promote that, and you know, uh, uh, um, making flyers and all that type of stuff, getting to the graphics piece. Then later on, I wanted to be a photographer, so I went and bought a camera, and that's how I actually created my launch plan on how to launch a business, right? My business
Okay, okay.
it was when I wanted to become a photographer. So I bought a camera, got good at it, and I said, I'm going to start making money from this. Because I don't like doing things. Honestly, anything I do well, I want to make money from it for the most part.
Okay.
So what I did was I created a plan. Like I created this whole email marketing campaign because again, I have been surrounded by digital marketing all the time. And so when I created this plan and I sent these emails out to people, in the first week I had $3,000 in receivables. Right? I mean, that was 2010. But that was my first real foray into it. So I had the photography business up until last year. Well, this year is when
Oh, are you serious?
I officially retired from photography this year. Yes, but yeah, that was my first foray into it. Then the next thing was what did I do after that? Oh, cybersecurity. So once I left I was working for an audit firm for a while, Basilio Cobb Associates, and it was time to leave there. And my very first contract was $200,000 a year, right? So it was kind of yeah, right. My very first contract with a gentleman named Stan Matto. So it's just really about positioning and marketing. Whenever I found a way to position myself to be able to market somebody, I would do it. That's just that's yeah.
Okay, so when did you take the leap from corporate?
That was 13 years ago, week before last. So December 17th, 2012 is when
Oh,
I
wow.
yeah, that's when I left corporate and decided to go on my own. I was blessed that the firm I was working for never replaced me. So for a while, I was subcontracting to them. Then got to the point where
Okay.
like I bring contracts to them, and we would just work together. But once I jumped out of there, that's kind of when I had to learn how to sink or swim. It's like, how do I go in and again do the same thing over and over again, just at a different level? Use the relationships and contacts that I have to get people to trust me, to do what I know how to do well for money.
Okay, so what lessons did you learn, I guess, early on in entrepreneurship when it comes to accountability and consistency? Because you said, hey, I have to keep repeating this. I have to find these ways to get this system to repeat.
And I'll be honest, I think that's something that we all have to consistently work on and learn. Because I'm still kind of still in the solopreneur. I have employees, but at an administrative level, kind of still at the solopreneur level. It's that you have to be accountable to yourself first. It's keeping your word to yourself. If you say you're going to do something, you got to do it. If you want something to get done, it's up to you. The other part is I'm accountable to my employees. These people that like I have to provide them with what they need. I have to pay them. Like that's always number one. Like they get paid before me. I can't even. So it's like that level of accountability. Of course, to my clients. I think one thing that people mistake is what freedom really is. Because some people say they want to start their own business because they want the freedom to do what they want.
Right.
It's not quite it. And you and I, we learn this, in this area. It's like you don't necessarily get to do what you want, you get to choose what you do, which is different. It's a big difference between doing it and choosing what you do. Like choosing, doing what you want. It's like, hey, I can wake up whatever time, go to sleep whatever time, do this when I feel like it. No. It's just I choose what I do, but then I'm still accountable to do all the things that go along with that.
Okay, so let's talk more about like raising founders. So in your program, how are you instilling these kind of lessons in the students? Like how long is a typical program? How is it like kind of broke down? And how are you teaching some of these lessons that, like you said, hey, we learn or refine learning in adulthood in youngins?
And I'm gonna tell you that is probably one of the hardest things.
Yeah, it has to be.
a lot of it's generational because of course, we want kids to be kids, right? But
Yes, understood.
I think what the hardest thing is we overvalue childhood. We overvalue being a kid
Break it
because
down.
unfortunately, adults feel like the most fun and freedom they ever had was when they were kids, not
Mm,
knowing there's a higher level of freedom that you can get as an adult when you do the right things.
mm,
So it's like be a kid because once you become an adult, people say adulting is hard. Adulting is hard because we allow it to be hard. And it's also because,
mm,
but if we did the things as a child that would make adulting easier, then we'd be good. But a lot of times we don't wait until we're adults and the responsibilities are piling down on us to do what's necessary to build. So that's why we encourage doing the hard stuff as a child. That way they can have the fun as an adult. Honestly, this is the most fun time of my life. And it's only going to get more funner. Yes, I know it's not a real word, but it's only going to get more funner. Like my goal, I plan on buying an island. Like, I mean, all that type of stuff. I like to do, you know, but think about the life that, let's say, a Mark Zuckerberg may live right now, right?
mm.
He and I are the same age, I think maybe a year younger. But Mark Zuckerberg can literally do whatever he wants, right? Do you know why? Because he started what he did when he was a teenager.
Right.
He didn't wait. So that's what we, first we help them to get that mindset. The earlier you do the hard thing, the better. I mean, and most of the time my message is to parents, not even just the kids, because if the parents enforce it, the kids have to do it. So the message is often to the parents, it's you often will say, if I knew then what I know now, I would do X, Y, and Z. Right? So do that thing that you would have done then now in them. It's the pain of discipline versus the pain of regret. We always say, I wish I would have, I wish I would have, I wish I would have.
Yeah.
But we don't allow our kids to benefit from that. It's like, I don't want them to have to struggle. I don't want them to have to feel this. I don't want them to fail. I want them to have to fail early, smart, go through the disappointment early, because we go through disappointments as adults. But if you can do it when you're safe, it's cool. So, so it's not even so much with the kids, it's the parents. But we work with the kids, their checkpoints, like they know Coach Carl. Like if you look at some of the testimonies, like Coach Carl, he get on my nerves. They say they keep coming back. But I do, because I press them the same way I do my adult clients. Right? It's like, did you do the thing you said? Are you keeping your word to yourself? The same thing that my coaches tell me. It's essentially, are you keeping your word to yourself? Because I tell them, I am not your boss. I'm your coach. You are the CEO of your business. I am just a consultant. Management consultants do not make management decisions. I only make the suggestions. It's up to you to do it, because I don't get paid by your business. I get paid by you, but not your business. Like, I'm not on salary.
Right.
I mean, so whether you succeed or fail, it's essentially up to you. Like a coach can only coach. A player has to produce.
That's right.
And so that's right. And so again, a lot of this comes from what I've seen in sports. So I work with an organization called Strive for Perfection in Richmond, Virginia, and now we've expanded to multiple states, across the country. And I'm sitting there in their middle school all-star game, where there's 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, who are 6th, 7th, and 8th graders who are doing their thing out there. And I'm talking about, how you gonna be in 8th grade doing a windmill dunk, reverse dunks, all this type of stuff. So I look at the same thing when it comes to these young people in business. They have the ability to do that. Like we just let's not hold them back from succeeding. Because I think one of the mistakes that we make is we'll let them go hard in sports. We'll let them go hard if they're a singer, if they're a dancer, if they're an actor, all of those things, which is good. I have no problem with that. But for some reason, when it comes to this business thing, we like, oh no, we don't want them to go so hard on it when the chances of success are way higher. The chances of success are way higher in business than they are in sports. But LeBron James didn't start playing basketball when he got to the NBA.
Right.
So by the time he got out of high school, when they were offering him, he had a $90 million contract before he set his foot on the floor of the court.
Right.
Because
Discipline.
built
Yeah.
it, right. Because there was something in his mom and his dad, or whoever raised him, I don't know who raised him, but they said, you are going to do this and you're going to do it well. Why are we not doing the same thing when it comes to business and our kids?
So tell us more about the summer program that y'all are going to have. So Raising Founders, what is it? What does it look like?
Oh man, I love our summer camps. Our summer camps, like, they're great. And we've helped over 50 some odd students, write business plans and start businesses just through our camps. We've helped over thousands in school programs.
Oh,
But
wow.
yeah, but that's when they come together for 3 weeks, and it's intense. It's
Okay.
both, so it's hybrid. So it's either they can do virtual or in person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we do a virtual in person. So they attend virtually. Not only do they hear from me talking, but they also get the coach that's going to be online, working with them as well. So we do a dual that way. But they spend the 3 weeks, and the first week they build out their business plan. And because of the advent of AI, we can do a whole lot more, right, than we used to do. The second week they actually launch the business. They launch the second week because I want them to start. I want them to be able to start to get sales, get themselves out there, show that, business actually works. This thing works. And then the third week they work on their presentation, where we have, business people, educators, politicians come in and talk to them, and they all competing for $1,000, right? Because kids love to make money, right? And it might be more this year. Like last year I did 1,500. Depending on how well they do, I may have to price it. Last year I did 1,500. First year I did 500. Second year I did 1,000. Third year 1,500. Maybe we'll do 2,000 this year. Who knows? I'll figure it out on the way there. But it depends on what who we get the sponsors and all that type of stuff. But yeah. So the goal is really to let them see the entire life cycle of the business, not just the plan. Most camps that I've seen, it's just the plan and the pitch presentation.
No, you're executing. Yeah.
Launch with Carl is in me. So these kids are with me. I want them selling. I want them making money. Like, I love when they come back and they say, I've made this amount. We had one who was a freshman in college, making extra $1,000 a month. That's pretty decent for a full-time college student, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
We have others that get scholarships based off of that. So it's like, hey, build these things. And our winners, all of them have become champions on a national level, whether it be DECA, Nifty, all of them. Like, yeah, all right, hey, look, because I'm telling you, again, I don't know. I don't have any kids, right? I don't have any. I'm not actually a teacher, right? I'm a businessman, so I only know how to run business. So you're gonna be with me, you can do it. And that's the thing that I've learned time after time. When I look at them, it's again going back to these 8th graders doing windmill dunks. If you put the expectation on them to succeed and you give them the tools and walk them through it, they're going to do it. The biggest thing that holds our young people back from succeeding at the highest level while they're young is the fact that we don't give them the opportunity to do it because we don't expect them to be able to do it. But right now, especially in 2025 going into 2026, they have all of the tools that are necessary. I mean, people run entire businesses, enterprises.
That's true.
And they know how to run these better than us.
Yeah, don't get on the computer at all.
Right. And they got time. They ain't got no bill. They got energy. They got market, and they're young. Like when I go into classrooms, I tell every student, I get up and I demonstrate. I say, you get your eyes big. You use that baby face. You say, please, sir, would you please support my business? Do that. People, they're buying it. They have so much opportunity, but we allow them to waste their youth only being young. We can't allow them to do that. Like, why? I mean, look, even Jesus himself was 12 years old talking about, hey, I'm gonna be about my father's what? Business.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's crazy. Okay, so listen, though, let me think about this. So y'all execute in week 2. So week 2 is not, this ain't no like sitting down, we're not doing nothing. Y'all are executing. So y'all are planning week 1. week 2 going straight into execution so they can get the feedback or things. And then week 3 is the presentation. So this is like a very engaged. Is the camp full time? Is it like a full day, half day? What's the
9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We feed them.
okay?
Yeah, we do feed them. Because like you gotta feed kids. We got snacks. The way that I do it, again, they're their own boss. They sit wherever they want in the location.
Okay.
I don't look. I've had them sitting on couches, laying back. Like when we were at Oxnard High School, I had one young man was sitting on the grate on the side with his feet on the desk, and one of the this is when the school district had hired us. One of the teachers came in and said, "You see him sitting over there?" I said, "Yeah, it's okay." They said, "But we need him to be sitting in focus." I said, "He's one of the most engaged boys in the class. Why?"
Right.
Because I don't put limits on. I don't know how you operate best. You're the CEO of your company. Now, if he was disruptive, then maybe I would have done something disruptive. This young man, I can't call him a little boy. This young man, with his DJ business,
good,
extremely engaged, and guess what? Making money to this day.
Well, we're going to get some footage for you so we can see and put this stuff in when we do like the final cut of the show so people can see some of the businesses. But I know I sponsored a couple of books for students. How can people sponsor, whether it's the full camp for a kid sponsoring you have a book as well too. So that's like a workbook to teach like just the foundation. So that's something that parents could have their kids do just during the school year instead of like watching TV or tablet time, or how does that work?
Yes, so the $1,000 playbook is really to get the child to make their first $1,000 because that's life changing.
Okay.
Back in my day, it was $100, right? $100. Oh my goodness, now it's $1,000 because these kids are expensive. They don't buy Fruit of the Looms no more. They want to buy Balenciaginos or whatever they call them in the world. But yeah, so yes, it's basically how to get them to understand what their gifts and talents are. And what it is that they like, how to turn it into a business. We start off, make that first $100 so you have proof of concept, and then sell that, continuously. And so the book is really, honestly, it used to be a book for adults. It still is a book for adults too, but it's really just we gear it down to help a young person. Thank you so much, Kay. Yes, I do believe it's a wonderful program. But so we break it down so that within the first 30 days they can literally make $1,000. If they follow those instructions, very, very specifically. So yes, we're trying to get as many, because a lot of the students that we serve are underprivileged, right? What people consider underprivileged. I don't like giving those kind of labels. So like I said, I grew up in the hood myself, but there are privileges everywhere. But
right.
Yeah, so like even the school we serve in Southeast Achievement Prep, 85% of the entire school, is considered. They're on like free or reduced lunch, so they get some type of So putting more things in their hands, and even finding more ways to get their parents involved in it is really one of the things that we really heavily try to focus on. So yes, people, if they go to either raisingfounders.net/sponsors, they can donate there. But we also have a special link that's in the comments on our donor box page for this sponsorship in particular. We're trying to get $5,000 by the end of the year to be able to get as many students in our programs as possible. Some scholarships that we want to get out because we have some young people that really deserve the opportunity, but their parents can't afford it. I've put close to $200,000 of my own money into this over the past 4 years. And unfortunately, I can't do that anymore. But honestly, what I found is that there are people who want to help us. They want to be on this journey. They want to be able to say, and we even have opportunities for those who do donate to be able to come and interact with the students, be sponsored. We have things called mentored internship programs where you get some of our best students and they will actually build something for you. So if there's something in your business that
you need help with,
that you can solve a problem with, we're able to do that. So because young people have ideas that we've never thought of. I'm gonna tell you a story. Just yesterday, I was with my uncle. Me and him haven't talked in a while, but he's my uncle by proxy, right? But we haven't talked to him. But we went to get to grab a drink, and he was telling me about his granddaughter Micah, who's 10 years old, right? Micah is a trip. Remember her when she was born, right? But she's a wonderful little girl, and what she ended up doing was convincing her cousin Ezra, who's a little bit younger than her. I think Ezra maybe like 6 or 7,
Uh-huh.
to get things from their mother's house that their mother didn't want anymore, right? And go door to door selling them. And of course, they're like, oh well, you can't do that. But I said, hold on, y'all know me. Okay, I'll talk talking to Aunt. I said, look, Aunt, look, there's something there.
Let's just mold it.
Yeah, because think about it. Instead of a yard sale, instead of going to Amazon Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace or something like that, these kids are they're going door to door. It's like an indoor yard sale. It's too cold to be outside. I said, look, you get parent supervision, and these kids and they price this stuff right, because the thing is, they'd already made sales.
Oh, really?
At 10, at 7. So that's so it's like, and this is 10 years old and 7 years old. Because if you got that bug in you, it's there. We just got that seed just got to be germinated. We got to water that thing. We got to put some light on it. We got to put some, because that's what we as adults are supposed to do. Like we're not gonna run this business. We're just gonna have it formulated, because that first business idea, that probably won't be what she does for the rest of her life. But now she has the skill set to do it in anything. Because you got to think about it. Everybody pretty much has a business inside of them. I'm not saying everybody's entrepreneurs. It's a rough life to live. But everybody has a business inside of them. Why? Because you can tell me what you do, and you can find somebody that has a business doing it that makes a lot more money than you. So it could. I'm not saying it has to be a business. I'm just saying it could be one. It could be. That's all I'm saying. But so those are the type of things. So so imagine having a brain like that when you're trying to reach a Gen Z, a Gen X. This is Gen Z, Gen A. All these letters.
It's going fast.
Yeah, all these numbers, right, and all of that. So so we'll put them in your business, and then they pitch to you their ideas to see how it works. So we have so many different opportunities for people to get involved in what we do. You go to the raisingfounders.net. We were endorsed by U.S. Senator Angela also Brooks a couple of years ago. She called our program a vital program to Prince George's County. Yes, she held audience with our students a number of times. Like I said, we have a lot of great footage even on our website about that. So that's really my goal is really to help solve our problems through entrepreneurship. My credo is there's no problem in our community that does not have an entrepreneur solution. But most of those solutions are in our kids. They're not in us. We have everything we're going to have.
Okay, so tell the audience, we have it scrolling down the screen, but those who may just be listening on audio, where they can go on the net to find out more about this wonderful initiative, sponsor a kid, or even just buy a book. Because I was like, hey, I could at least buy a couple of kids' workbook. You know what I mean? So, and no donation is too small. I think, especially just this generation now, or just all the tech stuff. Just a lot of people have a lot of nice things they're saying about you, Carl, in the comments and stuff, and they really are just
oh man.
Tell them where they can go to find out more information or to donate.
So yes, please, www.raisingfounders.net. You can reach directly to me at raising_founders or at launch with Carl. So we have so many sponsorship opportunities for the young people. We love to have you. We even look, organizations who may want to partner with us to reach more young people. We are the AAU of entrepreneurship. How some people say they might not be the best at something. I'm going to tell you, I have not found a youth entrepreneurship program that's better than us. I've been looking, and a lot of it is because doing this is it's a risk. It is a risk because a lot of people don't really a lot of people don't want young people to experience failure. But the thing is, they're going to experience it sometime. They're more resilient now. They'll bounce back now. They have you as a parent now. And
Mhm.
so even when they do camps and stuff, they want it to be feel good. Yes, I
Mhm.
make it feel good. It is fun. We joke around because I'm not gonna do something that's gonna bore me at all. You can tell my personality. So they're going to enjoy it. But more important than that, I'm going to give them everything I got. They are worth the risk that me as an entrepreneur, who put aside my multi six figure cybersecurity business to do this.
Yeah, right.
They are worth the risk. They're worth them being because they are my calling. They are my calling. So yeah.
That's awesome. So, well, I always close the show. I always ask every guest, what are some words or a mantra that you live by?
Again, as I said, my mantra is there is no problem in our community that does not have an entrepreneurial solution. And when I say
Mm.
entrepreneurial solution, I didn't say financial solution. I didn't say monetary. Definitely didn't say legislative. I was in politics. So, but I say entrepreneur. That means the people who are there, or who have a vested interest, are willing to take a calculated risk to provide
Mm.
a service that fulfills a need for a profit.
Carl Gray the third, raisingfounders.net. Make sure to go and look him up, look the business up, and definitely support this initiative. I think it's great. I think it's amazing. Even just like I said, getting a workbook, and you can even sponsor camp, the complete camp for a student if you want to at Donors Box. Great time right here. We're at the end of the year trying to make those donations, get those donations in. I couldn't think of a better program to do it with. Thank you all for tuning in and to the audience. Until next time.